Hello again everyone, this is me, Chinatsu. I want to talk about something a bit more personal. I would like to talk about some of the things I do to look after my mental well-being and also some daily habits that help me stay grounded. I know many of you guys are working hard. I don't know, at your job, looking after your family or your studies. Possibly, highly likely, studying English. Now, shall we take a moment to breathe together? Hopefully this video gives you a few ideas to look after your mental well-being too. I'm not perfect, so I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. Obviously. And I had some moments where I genuinely thought, oh, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just a person, so it's normal, right? However, I think every experience has taught me something. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So I've tried to learn from it and become a better version of myself. At least, I tried. Over the years, I've studied psychology with a big passion. And in this video, I would like to share some of the stuff I have learned too. So yeah, it's gonna be a really chill, chit-chat sessions. As always, if you have got any questions, comments, please let me know. I would love to hear what you have to say. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. Alright, let's get right into it. I'm sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to let you know that I'm having a workshop. We're gonna learn English grammar together. I'm gonna show you how I have learned English grammar. It's gonna happen around the end of September. If you're interested, anyone can join. Don't forget to sign up for it. The details are all down below. First of all, I assume the title of this video will be something like the reason why I'm happy, or like how to be happy, or something like that. I'm not sure yet, but I'm pretty sure it will be something like that. But for me, I tell you, happiness doesn't really mean this happy. You know what I'm trying to say? For me, happy doesn't mean always excited and smiley or something like that. But this time I used the word happy because I thought that word happy is easy to picture. You guys can easily imagine what I'm about to talk about in this video. But for me, to be honest, happy means more at least quieter than that. I think the closest phrase will be peace. Feeling at peace, if that makes sense. Even a neutral, I would say. I don't want to get too excited, and to be honest, recently, I'm not a big fan of the feeling of being excited, because yeah, it's good to be excited for a concert, music concert or whatever. It's good to be excited, but sometimes we misunderstand it. We get driven, I would say, by something hidden force. You look like you're working hard and moving, fast and doing something, but probably you're just driven by something negative. You make yourself busy not to think about, actually important stuff in life. For me, happiness is having a peaceful mind, and I can be mindful with anything. I found that feeling at peace feels the best in the end. So in this video, I would like to share a few things that help me stay in such a peaceful state. So the first thing I want to discuss is authenticity. We hear the phrase, 自分らしさ in Japan quite often, don't we? Live with your own authenticity. Stay authentic. I guess we hear them because, well, obviously it's important, but also I feel like many people are actually struggling with it. Recently, I feel more comfortable being myself more than ever, and I love it so much. I had to work on it. I've read so many books, spent a lot of time on journaling, self-reflection, and meditation, possibly. And thanks to the hard work, my own achievement, life feels so much better. It feels so nice. And I often say this recently, but I love my life and I'm so grateful for it. But guess what? It might be interesting, but I didn't get here just simply by telling myself, love yourself, accept yourself, be yourself sort of thing. Instead, what I did was I started questioning all the shoulds in life. So yeah, basically the expectations that society tells us we should follow. Let me explain. I hope it doesn't get too heavy for you guys, but please bear with me. There's my favorite book called Sapiens. I have mentioned in my videos in the past, but one thing that book taught me was that throughout history, people have believed in certain rules or values. But later, sooner or much later in history, at some point anyway, we look back and wonder, like, what the heck were they thinking? That's complete nonsense. Could be social rules or beauty standards, morals or lifestyle choices, whatever. Why the heck did they believe that it was true? Like, as one example, before 1974, it was difficult for women in the States to get a credit card with her name on it. But today, we would see it as discrimination. But the thing is, of course, there must have been some people who have challenged those ideas. But many people, aka society, right? They believed, they accepted them and thought it was normal. So I think the way you live, or even like the way you want to live, might get affected by society. Society, people. And another example, it might be a little bit more abstract, but think about Japan 300 years ago. The jobs that people admired back then are probably different from jobs that we admire today. And the skills that people make a fuss about, it's just nothing. Personally, I used to say, hey, I can type without, looking at the screen, but think about it. I used to be proud of it, but in the next 50 or I would say 100 years, that skill might be nothing. Like keyboards might not exist at all. People might be typing like, the eye movement. It could happen, right? But I just want you to know that the same thing goes for companies too. Like, companies, the brands, the status, and also the idea of success, they have changed over the history. And even like right now, it's changing too. And plus, I realized that when you look around, people seem to kind of know what they are doing. Random people on the train or like on the street, they look like they've got a direction to go to, right? But then I realized that they also don't know what is true and what's wrong in history, or even like for themselves too. I would say it's kind of a similar feeling which, when you were a kid, you thought grown-ups would know everything about the world. Now we are adults and we don't know everything. We don't know anything possibly. So yeah, that's the same thing, isn't it? And then that made me realize something. A lot of what we call like normal, successful, attractive, or the best way to live is not actually an objective truth. They're just simply ideas that people happen to believe at a particular point in history, and they could make a mistake. The thing is, nobody actually knows what they are doing exactly. Then you know what that means. Society's values are actually fragile. So I stopped listening to every single message and society was telling me like, hey, you should do this, you can't do it, or something like that. I don't know. Because remember, and they could change their values, opinions, anytime soon. So rather than listening to it, I decided to listen to myself. But don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean like I don't listen to society at all. We are part of it. I think it's all about the balance. I can see the society, but I want to see myself clearly too. I want to let myself do what I do because in the end, nobody knows me. Nobody knows what's right or wrong, especially for me. I think one of the reasons why we struggle to be ourselves is because this society's voice can be so loud. And when we are surrounded by those messages about how we should look, how we should dress, it just feels safer to follow the crowd than to listen to ourselves, right? But now I want to spend my energy understanding myself, caring about like what I want to do. One last example, let me tell you. Growing up, I think many of us probably heard things like act like a real lady, man up. If someone said those things in workplace or even like among friends, at least in Australia, they will be in big trouble. At least they're not going to be our favorite person to hang out with anyway. Do you know why? Because the society changed their own should standard. And this is utterly irresponsible, don't you think? Sorry, I had to move a little bit because of the lighting, but yeah, that's exactly my point. If you're struggling with your authenticity, maybe you want to question some of the shoulds that you've been carrying around. I think the person who is most qualified to decide how to live is not other people. Obviously, it's you. It's supposed to be you. I think if you realize what society put you was silly, all the beliefs and what to do and all the stuff, I think, this be yourself will make sense to you. I rather listen to myself, not the society. I know me, I know my life, so I want to take control of my life. Okay, the second thing I want to talk about is, you might think, okay then, if this being yourself matters, how do we know what myself, this myself is? Great question, guys. For me, it's about getting to know yourself. So know thyself. I think this is one of the most important things that we grown-ups have to do. We all have to work on it, but sadly, we don't get to learn it in school. Don't even learn how to learn it. So then, how do we do it? We have to use here. Okay, if someone asks you what's your personality like, you could probably say something like, oh, I'm shy, I'm positive, and I've got so much energy or something like that. And then if you can describe yourself in a positive way, I think it's great. But unfortunately, not many people can do it. In many cases, you talk about your negative things like, oh, I can't speak in front of people, I'm not persistent, I get bored easily or something like that. And if negative things come up as your personality, you want to ask yourself, when did I start believing this about myself? Or who said this? Compared to who? What made me think this way? I learned something similar in a psychology lecture recently. A lot of who we are is shaped by nurture. This by nature and by nurture argument. In other words, many of our behaviors, thinking patterns, and could be personality too, they are things we have picked up through life. We were influenced by many things in life. Your family culture. In psychology, it's often said that the way your parents treated you shapes your personality. Do you think so? People often say we become like our parents, and I believe it's not about the, DNA, genes. No, it's the way of thinking and also behaving that we inherit from them. Does it make sense? Unless we reflect on them, are aware of them, we're likely to repeat the same things, same behaviors and also the mistakes too, because that's what we know, especially as a child. They are our role models, so that's fair, isn't it? It's not only family, but it could be your school, the area you grew up in, and also the country you live in, and the language you speak too. Apparently, it shapes who you are too. And the purpose of the self-reflection, who am I really? The reflection is not to reject them or blame them. Oh, my family didn't do this, that's why my personality is like this and all this stuff. No, it doesn't do any good for you. Instead, what we want to do is just understand it. We want to understand it, and we don't want to give our power away. We want to take ownership of our own choices, and that's all. I think this is the same thing to what I said. You don't want to let other people decide who you are. Actually, you've got a choice. But to make a choice, you need to understand yourself first. Before you say, oh, I'm shy, that's why I can't speak, or oh, I'm not good with routines, so that's why I can't stick to it. No, you want to be a bit of investigator, and then ask yourself, okay, where did it come from? When did it start? Is this pattern similar to someone that I know? If you understand it, it's kind of easier to work on it. To me, that understanding is actually a big part of becoming myself. Without that understanding, I can't see why I think this way or that way, or why I like this, I don't like it. There should be a story, and I tried to understand everything. Guess what? When I was a kid, I was often told that I was lazy. And the thing is, I used to believe that that's who I was. Now, I don't think anyone would call me that way, and I never see myself that way either. But I wonder, as a kid, if I had decided to be a lazy kid, I would have grown up into a lazy person. It could have happened, right? Never understand if that's who I really am. It was just something that, I don't know who, but what her name said. I think we unconsciously perform our personality. Is it true? Or is it your choice? Is it your own understanding? Look back on yourself and reflect what's true to you. And obviously, no one can really teach you that, so you have to work on it. To be honest, thinking to yourself like this, oh, who am I? Oh, what did this mean? And something like that, like as if like you were Winnie the Pooh. By the way, I love him so much. Sorry, it's random, but I believe Winnie the Pooh is my spirit animal, or could be Paddington the bear. Clumsy, but like to think and stuff. I feel bad to call them animals, like they are even like a person, right? Thinking to yourself like this, it might give you a headache. So my recommendation is input. Sometimes doing input helps you get ideas or even like a new perspective. Definitely self-help books content, they help me a lot, but I know some people don't like it. Ideally, if you want to go dive deeper, I do recommend psychology study. There's so much content out there, and also studying online is quite affordable too. I don't know if anyone called this a hobby, but I love it so much. I love exploring myself. I love thinking about like how to live better. This is my little project, and also something makes me happy too. Okay, finally, there's one thing that I would like to share. To be honest, this is something I still have to work on. Looking back on everything I have learned over the years, from psychology, books, and TED Talks, self-help books and stuff, it seems to be one of the strongest factors for happiness. That is having meaningful connection with people. Again, to be honest, I'm not a people person. I love chatting, but I like chatting to myself or to the camera. I know, right? I know I'm a bit weird. I would like to make more friends. I always say it, but probably I don't put in enough effort. I know that having friends is good, but I kind of hesitate to do it. I'm finding it a bit hard, to be honest. And also over the past few years, I've been so busy with my own work, and I stayed home doing my own thing. So I think, yeah, I didn't have energy to meet new people too. But even so, guys, I do feel incredibly lucky because I already have a special connection with people. Do you know what that is? Probably you can guess. For the past 3 years, I've been running this channel. And then, sharing English content and sharing English learning stuff and some extra stuff like this, whether you like it or not. And throughout that, I was lucky enough to have the chance to connect with so many cool people and beautiful people. And I think it's a good opportunity to talk about it this time. So I will just, share a little bit. But to be honest, I also got hurt from some connections too, because, English learning, you know what I mean? Social media influences, and also a lot of people try to take advantage of you. And yeah, I think I hesitated to trust people probably in the last couple of years. But I tell you, every time I look at the comments, every single comment, and also DMs on my Instagram, I always feel like, oh, what I've been doing was not wrong. I always go like, oh, I deserve good people. I feel so grateful. Anyhow, sorry. Of course, I think many of you guys find me because you are learning English. You wanted to get some English tips. Obviously, English is what brought us together. But honestly, I think we're connected by something deeper than that. And hopefully, that's what I share in my channel too. Not only English, but other things as well. Something important in life. It's about English, but not exactly. Learning English is about learning Japanese and appreciating Japanese. Learning English is also about working on your thoughts and stories and on yourself, exactly. Know thyself, right? And think about Japan and think about the country that you want to live in, or like you live in right now. And most of all, it's about people, including you. It's just not about a line of words, I think. And I strongly believe those are the things that connect us like this. We have the same passion, vision, and possibly similar type of curiosity too. And I'm pretty sure that's why you guys are still watching this video. This video started from like, oh, I tell you why I'm happy or something like that. And it got much deeper than that. But still, you guys are with me because we appreciate something deeper than that. And I do believe that us. Am I correct? Even though I can't see you guys, but I feel connected. And to be honest, it's a shame that I can't find any other words, I don't know what to say. But recently I was thinking about the phrase, in Japanese, 胸がいっぱい. In English, we say, my heart is full. They sound similar, right? And that's why I love learning languages, because beyond culture, beyond our skin color or whatever, how we feel, how we think, especially about our thoughts and feelings and mind, right? There's similarity, and I'm pretty sure it's not a coincidence. There's a reason. There are no borders. Anyway, look, like making videos is not easy sometimes, but the fact that I've got so many people behind this camera, behind this screen, gives me so much courage, and that's why I'm happy, and I feel motivated to live, work every single day. I think that's why this channel grew to this point. It's not like I did well. I did well, but no, because we have us, each other. Anyhow. And one thing quickly, I think it's also because I live overseas. Like, I appreciate this connection, connection with Japanese people. I just came back from Japan, and when I was in Tokyo, people on the street, on the train, random people, I felt so much love. I was like, wow, this is my people. We sometimes complain about Japan, right? Japanese people this and that. But in the end, we love our country, and we love us too. We love each other. And visiting Japan this time, it made me kind of think like, I want to contribute to my own country in my own way. And I think making videos, helping English learning, I think it's my job. And that job makes me so much happy. And anyhow, thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by clicking the like button. And if you've got any questions, comments, please let me know. Okay, thanks for listening to the story. I really enjoy talking about this kind of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. All right, I'll see you in the next video soon.